Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, one and all. Today we're going to be checking out the Pimax Crystal, one of the newest headsets that's been released from Pimax. I got it tested out at CES 2023, and I want to be able to tell you everything I learned about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let me let you guys know what this headset is and what it can do, some of the features, and then I'll move on to my impressions of it after testing it. And just as a reference, I was talking to Pimax's COO, their Chief Operating Officer. Today I'm showcasing the Pimax Crystal, Pimax's first all-in-one standalone headset. Now, while in the past Pimax has made some pretty bulky products that can only give me flashbacks of the old TV that I used to use to play my Nintendo 64 on, like the Pimax 8K, which many know as being one of the highest resolution headsets that came out during its time, the Pimax Crystal is an all-in-one standalone headset that actually is lighter and thinner than the Pimax 8K. And while being a standalone inside-out tracking headset, it is also capable of having PC VR via a toggle that is actually a physical switch on the headset. It includes standalone features like having two 6000 mAh batteries that actually come with the headset. These batteries are estimated to have a 3-hour and 20-minute battery life according to the Pimax COO whenever they did testing at this venue. However, I never got an exact number from him about how long the battery normally lasts, so I will need to do additional testing to verify with all of you. And as far as its streaming capabilities go, it can stream wirelessly from the computer into the headset, and they also sell separately a Wi-Fi 6E adapter, which allows you to be able to have better connection between yourself and your computer that actually offers higher resolution and faster refresh rates while casting from the PC to the headset, and can be undisrupted from a 5 to 8 meter mark or 15 to 24 feet. But of course, this is only going to affect those of you that want to be able to use PC VR and really don't want the wire. Those of you that have a cable suspension system and the wire doesn't bother you, or for those of you that aren't going to use this for PC VR, this really doesn't affect you, which is nice that they sell it as a separate component so that way it doesn't put the cost on you having to buy it if you're not going to use it. But just to backtrack a bit, I do actually really like the fact that they have hot swappable batteries. It is a really nice feature. I haven't seen a headset where this is native to said headset. I've seen things like the Bobo VR strap where you can buy that strap and it has that for the Oculus Quest, but of course that isn't native to the Quest. That's an external third-party accessory. The Pimax headset also offers new aspheric glass-coated lenses that not only give clear/sharper images, but also aims to reduce God rays, which for those of you that may not be familiar with the term of God rays, you may have experienced this and just not know that it has a term. It is a specific type of lens flare that looks a bit like a sunbeam shining through the clouds right on your eye whenever you're using a VR headset. Just a little bit of a visual hurdle to get through whenever you're designing a VR headset. And whenever you buy this headset, it comes with 35 ppd and 42 ppd lenses, so it not only has a hot swappable battery, but also hot swappable lenses. And on top of that, this headset also features eye tracking and face tracking. And not only that, but the eye tracking is used to be able to have an automatic IPD, aka whenever you're adjusting the lenses back and forth for your face, instead of having to do that and maybe you're off by like a centimeter or two, whatever, the headset will auto detect where your IPD is supposed to be able to give you the clearest image inside the headset. But for those of you who like knobs, flips, and switches like a Bop It, it also has a adjuster on the side that you can manually adjust. In addition to the Wi-Fi 6E adapter that you can purchase for the headset, you can also buy two different faceplates for it. The Lighthouse faceplate, which allows your headset to be able to be tracked by the Lighthouse trackers, which I normally use for my Valve Index, for those of you that want that little extra boost of tracking by having some external trackers. Or you can get the MR cover, which is the mixed reality cover, allowing you to have pass-through on the Pimax Crystal. Now, the Lighthouse faceplate is nothing to brag about, and unfortunately the MR faceplate was not there, so I didn't get to test it, but I do like that these are separate so that way it doesn't put the cost on the consumer for somebody that does not want it. And one of the things that the COO really wanted to drive home with me is the fact that, quote, we have a full screen real-time dimming algorithm running that works with all software. It drops the backlight out from behind every pixel. Now, what does this mean for your average smooth brain like me? Basically, it makes black inside the VR headset the darkest it can be realistic-wise. So, rather than the pixels on the screen trying to say, okay, this is meant to be the color of black, and the pixels are just black that are on there, the pixels will actually cut out whenever the headset registers that you're looking at something that is meant to be pitch black. And to give you another apples-to-apples comparison, like how I did with my Vive XR video that I'll be leaving down in the description below in case you want to see another headset that's coming out, here are the numbers that I was able to whole, and I wanted to be able to run through them with you. I did a little bit of outside research as well as pulling from the actual sellers' websites themselves. And I originally wasn't going to include the Quest Pro, but so many of you had asked for it whenever I compared the Quest 2 to the Vive XR that I'm going to include it on this list. As you can see here, the Pimax offers the highest resolution per eye as well as the highest refresh rate. And the Pimax also offers the highest field of view. The Valve Index has two different numbers on there because I was getting conflicting numbers from the Valve Index website and those that did individual testing compared to my last video when I only put 130, so I put both of them on there just to let you know that there is some kind of variance with that number. Out of the weights that I have listed here, the Valve Index is the heaviest. I was not able to get the actual weight of the Pimax crystal according to their COO or their website, and I probably would have gotten stopped by security had I tried to bring in my own scale from Walgreens or something like that, so I don't know the actual weight of it, but I do know that it is heavier from when I was using it. Also, like I said before, the battery life is actually unknown. The COO said he believed the average throughout testing it at the venue was 3 hours and 20 minutes, so I did put that in red because I'm not 100% sure, but that is what he had told me directly. And the Pimax crystal ties with the Quest Pro for having a 256GB storage. And with all that being said and done, you can see the prices at the bottom, Pimax crystal being the top dog for 1,600 USD. Now, due to this, I don't think I can actually recommend this to the average VR consumer. But then again, that's not what Pimax is all about. Pimax isn't trying to get a Pimax into every single VR consumer out there. Pimax knows their role, they know their target audience, they know their people. They're not trying to make the Pimax Crystal the least expensive headset for what it's worth, just so they can get it into everyone's hands. They're trying to target that very particular niche of VR enthusiasts to try to say, hey, look at this headset. It's got this massive resolution, high refresh rate, massive field of view. It's got all these nice bells and whistles. But that's not really what the average consumer wants. It's only going to be for those high-end VR enthusiasts like myself, not for every single person out there that has a Quest. And that's by no means me saying whether or not that's good or bad. I'm just letting you know what their target audience is, because sometimes it seems like people just see a price on there and they're like, oh, well, they should just make it cheaper, but they really don't need to. They know who their audience is and they know who will pay for it. However, with me paying a couple $1,000s to fly all the way to CES, I don't imagine myself getting this headset anytime soon. But with all that being said and done, I did want to let you guys know my initial impressions of it. I did enjoy it overall. It was a pleasant headset to test out. It was comfortable. I thought I was actually able to read stuff a lot better, like how you can see on there I was doing the plane simulator. I was actually able to read the dials, and whenever I looked at the black leather steering wheel, I could actually tell where the creases were in the black leather because of that blackout program that I said that the COO was mentioning to me. And it did everything that it said it was going to do. There was no hidden tricks. There was no, oh wait, we forgot to tell you crashes every 5 minutes sort of thing. It looked good, it felt good, and I enjoyed the headset overall. However, I do want to be fair to say that this was not a mind-blowing experience. It wasn't something of like, oh, I've got to go buy this right now after testing it because it was so phenomenal. It was definitely an upgrade from my regular Valve Index and my Quest 2. However, like I said, 1.6 grand is a lot to spend on a headset, so it would be a lot to consider. Compared to the chart though, it is only a $100 increase from the Quest Pro, which is actually pretty phenomenal considering the kind of upgrade in graphics that you're going to be getting. However, the last two things I did want to mention, I don't know if it was the specific game that I was playing or if it was something wrong with the Pimax, but while all the things that I was looking at very up close were extremely sharp and looked visually beautiful, things that were far away just did seem a little more blurry than what I'm used to. And also the thing I would be hesitant about is the fact that in the past, Pimax has been very well known for having great hardware. However, their software isn't exactly plug and play. I've read customer reviews in the past as well as had close friends that have had issues with Pimax where it just seems like there's always something wrong on the software side where they just can't get the headset working all the time. I experienced zero issues with the headset while I was at CES. However, you have to keep in mind that I was only testing this for about maybe 45 minutes or so I can't really do the extensive testing that I'm used to be able to give you guys the fair and proper shakedown on this headset. So all in all, I think that Pimax did a great job with the headset so far, and I hope to be able to test this in the future when it becomes available. Thank you all for watching. I hope you found this helpful. I'll be leaving some videos playing in the corners over here in case you want to see anything else that the channel has to offer. I'll be releasing some other videos very soon about all my other experiences at CES, and I hope you can stay tuned to see the rest of them. Without further ado, I'll be closing out the video, and I hope all of you have a fantastic day.